I'm sorry I'm making some cuts on the video, or the video is quite long, but I'm trying to read as little as possible, and just like a reminder of what I want to speak right now, so I can watch in camera, or maybe if you see me watch like this or something like that. As I said, I did a recording, didn't go as well as I wanted. Right now I think I'm pronouncing much better. This what you heard right now, the I think I'm doing that because I'm out of practice, because I'm sort of embarrassed of doing this. Never have done it, like I said. So I will practice more on my English speaking, learning more words or remembering most of the words. Like if you're, let's say, in front of me and you're speaking English, and someone tells me, "Can you translate this in your language?" And I'm like, "Yes, I can," but I'm starting to think, "What is this? What is that?" But let's say if we are speaking to each other in English, I don't really think, "What is that?" It sort of goes through my mind. I'm watching a bunch of series, movies, and stuff like that, so I personally know English, but when someone tells me, "Can you say this, that," and it just goes, "Okay, I need to think about that," so I don't mess it up. I can say my languages, the English and the Russian, have basically gone rusty through the years of me not speaking, or even doing so much gaming or stuff like that. So in this channel I'm going to be doing something like vlogs, as I said. I'm going to be doing them in me speaking English and me speaking in Bulgarian as well. Because I am from Bulgaria, I like my history. My country has a history of 1,400 years, so that's a long time. It's been through a lot of things, and as I will say in the future as well, you need to respect your country, no matter how right now maybe I shouldn't be saying words like that, but the people on the top are sort of fucked up, they're doing messed up stuff, and you're from the normal people who don't really have the word, or you can do anything about the stuff they want to, let's say, build, the things they're saying, "Okay, we're thinking about doing this, we want a vote," but that vote thing doesn't mean anything. So yeah, so something else I'm going to be doing in this channel is I'm going to be starting, like I said, some kind of tutorials on some gym, fitness, street workout, how I started doing this, how I think I'm doing it right. I'm not saying I'm going to be always right, or my way is the correct. I'm saying it based on my experience, on the things I have learned. So I'm going to be doing things like that as well. I'm going to be doing vlogs of my life at work. I'm not going to be recording anything like that. I cannot do it because, first of all, I'm working with a couple of people who are much older than me, and I don't think it's okay, or anyone is going to be interested in me drawing something on the computer. I'm using AutoCAD, or me calculating stuff, or writing down, let's say, technological opinion or something, or things like that. I did my own. I cannot say it's quite a program. It's from in Excel. You can do it in Visual Basic. It's basic thing. I did it on all the meals I would prefer someone buy on the meals I think you can get easily in my country. So uh, you can say I want that amounts of calories, excuse me, grams of this meal, which is going to be equal to some kind of calories, how much protein it has, how much carbs it has, how much fat, all those things. Because personally, I think I have the experience. I don't have quite the looks or the lifts, but I think for the weekends I can start doing something like programs, or let's say the program is going to be for eating and for uh, training, or only for one of these, but they're going to be something like cheap, really cheap. I want just to help the people. If I make some kind of extra buck from, let's say, a hobby of mine or something, I can fill up my time at the weekends. Uh, why not try to help someone with your experience, as I said? Yes, you're going to say you don't know how to eat correct or anything like that. Actually, I have studied about that quite for a lot of years. I know how you should be eating, what you should be eating, how you should be eating it based on the person who is going to be taking the program. It's going to be, I'm going to, if he's from my country and from my city, I'm going to meet them. We're going to have a couple of workouts where I'm going to be showing him how to do this exercise. If this is taken, you can replace this exercise with this. I'm going to be saying to him, you need to do that amounts of sets with these kilograms for these reps. You're going to be taking that amount of rest between the sets. Uh, you're going to be, let's say I am asking him, do you like eating this and this and this? Do you eat this? Can you afford buying this because this is cheaper or this is more expensive? So based on this stuff, if he has, allergies or anything like that as well, that means personal trainer, that means personal program. For me personally, that's my opinion. Uh, I'm not going to be quitting my job or anything like that. Not because I have only studied for 10 years things I'm doing right now in my job, but I don't think I'm going to be making some kind of huge progress from this. I am doing this sort of to record my life, as I said, to look back in the past, the things I've done, to remember stuff I have forgotten, because I can easily say that from 4 years old I have remembered most of the time of my life, which is sick for some people. I have that kind of mind that remember stuff that are maybe useless, but I just like to remember everything I have done, and I'm thinking about the stuff I've done in the past really often, and I'm thinking about the stuff I'm going to be doing in the future as well. So, as I said, if this got some kind of progress with the YouTubing, it's going to be good. Extra cash is extra cash. You can save it, you can make on vacation or anything like that. So if I start making any kind of money of this, it's just going to be a bonus for me. Also, I'm going to be speaking about things like how to cook this, why I like cooking it like this, stuff like that. Meal plans, let's say it like that. Day of eating. Uh, Personal vlogs of me, let's say going on vacation or something like that. I'm going to be recording stuff like that and uploading them as well. Also, I'm going to be speaking on my opinion on some stuff in national plan, let's say it like that, not only my country or anything like that. I'm going to be speaking about some stuff that I don't think YouTube is okay about. People more uh, like speaking that type of things, but yeah. Also, one thing I'm not going to be doing is I'm not going to be saying please like, subscribe, comment, or share, or anything like that on my videos. As I said, I'm doing it for myself. Uh, I'm doing it sort of to get more social. I'm doing it to record my life because right now in this area, I think at some point it's important to record your life, uh, not try to remember everything like I'm trying to do. Uh, so if anyone is going to do that, it's their choice. I'm not going to be telling them to do that. I'm not going to be leaving a subscribe note here or anything like that. If anyone liked it, disliked it, that's on their opinion. I like other people's opinions as long as they don't start telling me that you're doing this, you need to do this. Uh, don't tell me that. You can say, I think you're wrong about that. I think the right way or this is right way. To make some kind of conversation with this person. So this is something you should be trying to do when you're saying a comment or something like that. I'm going to be trying to respond to those comments and stuff like that as much as possible because, as I said, I'm going to be trying to adding 1 week one video for most likely all the time. Maybe sometimes I'm going to be adding a couple of videos, so maybe sometimes I'm not going to be adding. It depends on the free time I'm going to be able to spend on the ideas and the things I can record right now or say, because like I'm doing it right now, I'm alone at home and I'm going to be doing that kind of recordings when I'm alone, or at least for the beginning, because I think I haven't said that by now, but nobody in my family knows I'm going to be doing this. I don't care what they're going to think, my friends or anything like that. This is something I'm doing for myself. I think personally this is going to be helping me uh, through some tough stuff in my life I've been through and I'm going to be uh, having in the future. So as I said, I respect the other people's opinion. I want to make conversation with them. I'm going to say my opinion on the stuff, how I think it's going to be the rightest way to do it. I'm not saying I'm right, or even let's say I'm 100% right. I'm open to hear someone else's opinion, even that opinion could have been mine in the past. Uh, Through all this time I'm going to be doing this, I hope I'm going to be learning to speak English better. I've thought of doing maybe in a couple of years. I want to get some kind of English degree. So based on the things I'm going to be doing now, personally, if I get to the point where I can speak clearly, understandable, without saying too many times. Personally, I'm a slow reader. I am not reading well. Never had been doing that. Never kind of catch me. I'm not saying I don't like books or things like that, or let's say you're reading something in the internet, but I'm a slow reader, so as well if let's say I make some kind of friend, even if he's not from my country, or let's say he's from my country but he's living on the other side of the country, it's going to be great. Also, something I may be doing is adding, if I have something I haven't deleted, because I think I have deleted most of the things. I'm going to be doing maybe some kind of gaming video of Purple, or just me playing some kind of game. Uh, As I said, I have been gamer for most of my life. I'm probably going to be gamer even if I have a kid in the future, which I hope that can happen quite soon. To be honest, in a couple of years maybe, if I actually get a girlfriend. Uh, I'm not a religion guy. That's my opinion. As I said, I respect the people who are interested in stuff like that. I personally have been interested in that because I want to see the facts that are going to prove me that I'm wrong or I'm right. Uh, I'm not saying there are things that prove of things happen just like that, and you're like, that cannot happen. So I can say I'm not a believer, but maybe not fully. And as I said, if someone doesn't agree with me like that, he can say it. I won't have problems with haters or anything like that. Everyone has their opinion. I respect that. Just don't try telling me how to do it. Just tell me, I think you're wrong because you're doing it like this to make a conversation. Don't just tell me go to hell. Let's say it like that. I didn't say it from my point of religion type of thing. I'm Christian, uh, but still, I respect all the holidays and stuff like that. I am doing all the things on the holidays. The only thing I'm not doing, I don't know how it's called, but you cannot eat fast stuff and meat and things like that through some of the holidays. So you have your side, I have my side. If we can make some kind of conversation out of it, it's going to be great. Uh, Personally, something I don't really like as well. I think maybe because of the time I have played a game in which that kind of people are a big number. Also, because of the history that has been between this country and my country. Uh, so I don't like really most of the people who are. Uh, I'm not going to say the country actually. I was thinking of saying it, but let's say it's a close one to us. Uh, it's not that it's all in their country, or for most of the part, I think it is. The way they're acting, the way they have acted in the past, the series they're making, stuff like that. I don't like it. That's my opinion. You cannot like every country, as I said, but still, it just really uh, actually depends on the person, not on the nation. So you cannot judge the cover of a book if you haven't written it. Also, I don't quite understand some of the things that are speaking. Let's say, I don't want to offend anyone, but sometimes black people make too much, let's say, a sentence or anything someone said about them, and it's he just didn't do it because of that or anything racist or something like that. Uh, I had one person who is black. It's a really nice guy. Mm, we have lost contact, but sometimes they should think when they're saying something uh, as well, because sometimes they can piss off other people as well. So mm, that is, I think, something I don't like personally, because things aren't the way they seem. I believe that we are all equals, that we all have rights, but sometimes someone said something and someone is going to be, oh, that guy is a racist or something like that. I don't think so. As I said, sometimes you can just say free your opinion on the stuff. But let's say in YouTube and stuff, not only in YouTube, but you cannot say that word, the F word or something like that. Uh, you should have some kind of free opinion on the stuff that you have on your mind and you want to say. So right now I'm going to be saying uh, the people I think are funny on YouTube or I'm following or something like that. Personally, on Instagram, I have Instagram for I think I made it in January uh, because I sort of started thinking more about me making some kind of vlogs or channel or things like that. So as a first, like I said, Judy Murphy is a funny guy. I think you should look some of the stuff he's doing with Tom, his partner, on the videos. I like Wire Reviews. He's my age, uh, a couple of months older, I think. He's the PR god, and as I'm saying this, you know he's using anabolic steroids and stuff like that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, let's say, me and him, we're using the same things, we are trained the same way all the time, but we are eating the same things. You need to have genetics. That doesn't mean that you're going to be starting taking steroids and you're going to be looking ripped or you're going to be lifting so heavy. You need genetics for that. I don't think personally I have uh, good genetics. I think I have normal person genetics, let's say it like that. Maybe a bit shittier. I'm going to be saying stuff like that later. I also like strongman. I cannot personally train that in my country, or I haven't really tried finding a place like that. I don't have the money right now to spend, let's say, to make my own gym, so I can ask stuff like that. But I think you should be checking out the stuff that Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, or Thor Bjornsson are doing. They're funny guys as well. At some point, they're giving some kind of advice on the stuff they're doing. So if you're interested in strongman, I should say you should check them out. As for, let's say, some kind of rapping or stuff like that, personally, I like Eminem, I like NF, I like NEFFEX. It's free copyright music. They're doing a great job, to be honest. It's the most logical thing to do, to be honest. You can make money even if you're making free copyright. As let's say, I think most of the people will get some kind of opinion from that kind of people, the so-called fitness boys or push boys or stuff like that. So I actually am watching some of them. I like watching from time to time. I got sort of the idea from them about making my own vlog. So I'm going to be saying I'm watching David Litt and some of his friends. Some of the times they're doing funny stuff and things like that. Also, I think you should be checking one guy that is being really honest lately, and he's recording this, and he said that he would just want to record his life to say what he's doing, to show his progress and stuff like that. He is using steroids. My opinion, most of the people who are younger than me or even older, it's just easier if you have some kind of money to use steroids. If you're in a bodybuilding competition or anything like that, I think you should be using if you're going to be making money out of this. But if you're going to be some kind of model or anything like that, I don't think you need it. or if you're not, if you're just doing it to look better than the others, I don't think it's actually necessary. That is something like complex in that person. So that person, which I said I really like, and lately I have watched most of the videos he was uploading the last few months. His name is Brander Harding. I don't know if I'm pronouncing their names right. As I said, I'm not good at speaking English. So you should check him out. He's a really nice guy. I didn't got the idea from because he's doing one thing right now called hard body shredding. I haven't gotten the idea from him getting legal or anything like that. I wanted to do this for the past 2 years, and always I made some kind of excuse or something like that. Personally, I don't like watching. I have watched, but right now I don't like watching a workout on someone like them doing a workout with friends, maybe for 1-2 minutes. Okay, but for the rest, I have gotten bored. You don't see anything new. I prefer to skip and see if I can hear something which is going to be interesting for me, or what they're speaking of. But if you want to be supportive on that type of people, I personally haven't subscribed to them. The only person from the ones I said I have subscribed is Judy Muffo, but I am watching most of the others people channel as well, but I'm not watching it for real. I mean, I am offing the sound and I just put the video. Let's say the video is 30 minutes. 30 minutes pass. I close the window. I've watched, and you have made some kind of support to that person to keep doing what he's doing in his life. As I said, I'm not going to be making a business out of this. If I start making some kind of money, it's okay, but that's not going to be my main source. So for people like them who are depending on views, hours watched, and stuff like that, I think you can be supportive if you're even not a subscriber or anything like that. You can just leave the video, it's going to go on. You don't need to listen to it, you don't need to hear it or anything like that. As for people who you can learn stuff from, right now I don't think they're doing so good job, but they have basically covered more of the stuff based on the fitness on that kind of industry. So Atlan X is a really good guy. You can learn stuff from both dudes as well. As for the calisthenics, I think you can learn stuff from 10x. I think that's how it's called. Bar stars as well. You can go back in the old videos. They're saying how you can do this exercise and that what you can start doing. Good stuff. To be honest, in the past when I was doing some kind of calisthenics and stuff like that, right now I can only do muscle up and front lever. I never learned how to do back lever. I could do a plunge, I could do a handstand and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not personally a runner type of person. Don't like doing cardio. Right now I am doing cardio. I'm doing it I think for 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm training for six times a week. So I'm going to make in the third video, which I'm going to be doing sort of telling you stuff and reading, as I'm doing right now, about how I am training and stuff like that. In the half of the video, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to go and show you what I'm buying in the grocery store, what I'm cooking. I'm going to be saying how much calories that is, how much carbs, protein, fat you have in the meal. Right now, I'm not going to say the average I'm eating because I'm not calculating everything correct. I know, okay, I'm putting somewhere about that. If it's a couple grams more or less, stuff like that, I don't care. But I'm going to speak about that in another video. So, stuff I like to do sometimes, which I think nobody knows about is I like to write stuff down. Let's say a story or something like that. Personally, like I said, I don't share most of the thoughts I have, the things I have written down. I haven't shared with anyone. Most of them I have deleted. Like, okay, let's do it. I will type something and I will read it. I will say, okay, it's okay, and I will delete it. I know it. I sort of never thought of sharing my thoughts or something like a story I made. But yeah, so my favorite serial I can say is How I Met Your Mother. It's comedy, the actors are good, it's funny, uh, it's okay. I like watching also sort of, let's say, history type of movies or series, like let's say Game of Thrones, uh, Vikings, or something like that. I like to watch things like The Vampire Diaries, Legacies, and stuff like that as well. Um, I can say every day I'm watching some kind of serial or some kind of movie, or I will start watching it, maybe pause it, go to sleep. I will continue another day. It depends on the free time I have to spend. So I'm going to be speaking about this in a future video, maybe in the third one. I'm going to be making three transformation videos. The first one is going to be a picture of me I'm taking in the bedroom every day. Sometimes I'm taking a picture, actually, sorry, most of the time I'm taking the picture after I'm eating because I have forgotten. I'm not the selfie type of person who's recording, taking pictures or anything like that so often. So it's not something I'm doing. The second video is going to be of me doing some posing. Uh, every Sunday I'm doing that in the morning when I get out from the bedroom. I'm doing the posing, then I'm eating and stuff like that. Like today, I will try to make some kind of third video, which is going to be my 12-week progress, but it's going to be push body type of video. It's going to be me taking some kind of shitty picture, picking it up, part of a video or something like that, and in the end, it's going to be me on a good lighting, probably in a mirror. I'm going to do some kind of posing or something like that so I can look ripped. I maybe am going to add some kind of light effect to the video as well so I can look better, but that's like marketing stuff to make, let's say, some kind of audience on the me wanting to make personal programs. So we all have some kind of dreams, to be honest. If I start making decent enough amounts of money from this and from my work, and if I can spend enough, I have a dream of making a gym, a restaurant, some kind of product, or some kind of company. Not quite knowing what I want to do in the company. To be honest, it could be for the stuff I'm learning right now, but you know. Right now I'm going to be saying my measurements. So they were taken on the uh, 8th of December last year when we finished the 365 days. I'm going to be making another video about that, what we did on that day, how many reps, stuff like that. My friend actually had his birthday is on the 8th of December. Sad he's not training right now, but yeah. So for my arms, not flexed, they're 33.5 centimeters, which is 13.2 inches flexed. Is about 38.3 centimeters, which is 15.1 inches. My forearms flexed are 33 centimeters, which is 13 inches. My calves are 36 centimeters, which is 14.2 inches. My legs are 55 centimeters, which is 21.7 inches. Up around my shoulders, it's about 114 centimeters, which is 44.9 inches. Up around my chest, it's 102 centimeters, which is 14.2 inches. My height is 182 centimeters, which is 71 inches. I weighed 75 kilograms, which is 165.3 pounds. I am almost 26 years old, 24, sorry, years old. So before a couple of weeks, I have measured myself. So right now I'm somewhere about 73, I guess, because of the less food I'm eating, the less carbs I'm eating. I'm trying to be eating more and more protein. Maybe for the last 2 weeks of the prep, I'm going to be sort of starving and almost eating like protein and really little amounts of carbs and fat. Like almost everything is going to be protein. And based on the cardio I'm doing, I'm burning, so I guess it's logical that I'm losing weight. Personally, I hope I don't get less than 71, 72 kilograms. As I said, I'm not into bodybuilding. I don't think I have the genetics. I don't have the shape. I don't want to use drugs or anything like that. But yeah, for the powerlifting, if I get bigger lifts, I will be interested in going to some kind of show like that. But for the bodybuilding, never. I'm not the type of person. Yes, I like to look better, but not so much. So I'm going to be writing this down a bit more so I can end this video because it's quite long. I'm going to be trying to be adding this on 2 parts because it's a long video. It's about, I think, more than half an hour, 1 hour and a half, excuse me. So I think this is all I wanted to say in this video about the things I like, the things I'm planning of doing. I'll try to upload it, as I said, in a couple of weeks or in a week. I'm going to be saying in the end of each video, thanks for watching, because someone has watched it, I suppose. Nothing else, as I said, I won't say subscribe or anything like that. I wanted to make some kind of conversation from this. So the first video is this. Things I'm going to be saying in the next video are about my personal life. I'm not going to be saying everything. It's going to be maybe about 3 parts, I guess. It's quite long because this one, which I'm doing right now, maybe because I'm speaking in English, it's a bit longer, or because I don't have the experience, or I don't want to miss something I have written down. So I'm sorry about that as well. I was thinking of starting doing this actually last year, but some stuff happened. The 365 days before that, we wanted with a couple of friends to do something like a fitness or a game channel, something like that. But this didn't quite happen. I changed my mind on the vlogs and stuff like that. Uh, but as I say, I'm making huge mistakes most of the time. 90% of the time, I can say I'm making some kind of mistake, which I'm going to regret. Right now, about this, I don't think I'm regretting it. Uh, Sorry once more for not watching all the time in the camera. I'm sorry about the bad English speaking, about this first upload, me not speaking in English, in Bulgarian, sorry. Um, Also, I'm sorry about the I'm saying. With more videos to come, I guess I will use my uh, embarrassing side more, so I can speak clearly, easier. If you have some kind of ideas, I'm going to be saying this in most of the videos, or something you want me to talk about, or do this. I'm going to be trying to read it or do something about it. I'm going to be saying now what my PC is. I bought the parts, made it. It's nothing special, so it's iCore 5, 2 points on the 3 GHz processor. I have 8 gigabytes of RAM. My HDD is really old. I'm thinking of buying a new one because this one is 500 gigabytes. It's from my first PC I bought with my own money when I was, I don't know, somewhere about 2006 and 2007. And back then, the stuff that it had, it was pretty ripped. Every game was working fine back then. Yeah, but the games are changing. I should probably change my monitor in the future as well because it's the same age as my HD. And I have some problems in some games. Sometimes the focus drops. It's because of that, not so much because of the PC. My video card is AMD Radeon TMR9 200 series. I bought it from one of the friends I'm working out with. Uh, as for that uh, and everything else I got in the PC, it's about $600 I have spent about for it. Uh, I'm using Windows 10. Probably for the videos I'm going to be using DaVinci. Maybe if I'm going to be using some kind of photo editing or something special like that, I'm going to be using Grim. For that, if I'm going to be recording something on games, I'm going to be using broadcast software. I think it's called like that. For recording on the computer, I'm not going to be buying probably camera in the future or anything like that. Right now, I'm using my phone, which I got this year, the beginning of this year. I got so my phone is OnePlus 6T, nice phone, haven't had any problem with it, but I'm sure if the quality of the video isn't as good as it could be, or the audio, or anything like that. For the future videos, maybe if I change my mind, I could do something like that. If I get really interesting into vlogging, or let's say if I get a girlfriend who is, let's say, sort of into stuff like that. So I guess this is all. Thanks for watching and see you later.